said that they offered you the role, so you didn't have to audition?
I didn't have to audition, no.
Did you know anybody on the crew or the powers that be that...
Robert Singer, the producer of that show, many years ago, Robert Singer produced and directed a World War II pilot, Sense of Theme, that I was in. We shot in London. Actually, it was funny. I did Band of Brothers, and then finished in November, and in March, back to London, got in the same uniform with, we did the boot camp with Captain Dye, an abbreviated version, but it was me and Kevin Connolly, who's in Entourage, the redhead kid.
Another redhead kid.
Me and the redheads. What is it? Those guys, we did a World War II pilot there, and Robert Singer directed it and produced it. And then, you know, that was a couple years ago, and I hadn't heard from Bob Singer. And when I got the offer, quite frankly, I was like, that's great, but I wonder why they're offering me this role. I usually go in and audition for stuff, and I saw that and went, Robert Singer. And you know it's Robert Singer because he named one of the characters Robert Singer. Which is real subtle. And I said that, I'm like, well, hey, dude, you know, nice. Where did you sneak that in there? He's like, that was Kripke, that wasn't me, I swear. But that's how I ended up doing the role, because of Robert Singer.
And you had, I don't know who directed Tall Tales, but Kim Manners directed Mystery Spot.
Right.
And do you prefer one, what kind of a director do you prefer to work with? Or
Out of the two guys?
I don't remember the first guy.
Brad May was the first guy. And it was interesting, because Brad May's done a ton of television as a director. And Brad May's cousin is a camera operator named Mike May. And Mike May was a camera operator on a series I did for 2 seasons called The Agency. So I actually had worked with people in his family before. You know, I don't necessarily have a preference one over the other, because they both did a great job, and I'm not around for the prep work and what they're doing, so I don't, you know, I'm kind of just there on the day when they're doing the actual shooting, and they're both know what they're doing, they've been doing it a long time. But I will say, it was pretty awesome getting to work with Kim, because he's a legend. That dude's been doing it for a long time on some really cool shows, and is really efficient and knows how to tell a story. And he had a couple of directorial notes in that, for example, in that final scene we were talking about where where the trickster's sort of walking that tightrope between being funny and being menacing, that I think really helped the scene. And he's paying attention to all facets. So, you know, I can't really say one over the other, but definitely working with Kim was a great experience.
There's no one else here. Can I ask one more question?
Sure. You're next. You. Hey.
Well, you mentioned working with Donnie Wahlberg. You know, it was a huge New Kids fan way back in the day.
Don't lie. You're still a fan.
And how was it to work with him?
The constant dancing got old. The whoa-whoa-whoa-whoing and all that. No, Donnie's great, and it's trippy. Let's be honest. We all knew who that man was, and you know, Donnie Wahlberg. You know, when I was a kid, I knew who Donnie Wahlberg was, and so you meet Donnie Wahlberg, and that's the weird thing about Band of Brothers is we're in boot camp, and we're all unknowns except for Wahlberg and Schwimmer. Like there's like. You've never heard of anybody except for these two massive stars. It was oddly balanced, but Wahlberg is really cool, and he's very grounded. He's a very down-to-earth guy. Got a couple kids, and very quiet. But also has a very bizarre sense of humor that you don't think he has because he's kind of quiet. He's kind of like, you know, the mean streets Boston guy, you know, like Marky Mark, and they're all like sort of tough guys. And then next thing you know, you're standing out doing night patrol, and you're getting grilled by the sergeant, and there's his bare buttocks in the window mooning you. And you're like, I'm getting mooned by Donnie. I never saw this happening in my life. So, I mean, I think the guy's, he's a super talented guy. I mean, super talented actor. I mean, talk about being able to make the transition from music to acting. The Wahlberg boys have got that down. And couldn't be nicer, and is a real fun guy to work with. I don't see Donnie as much as some of the other guys now, because he works a lot on the East Coast. But you know, we still all get together every now and then. He's a really good guy, and I know he's back on the circuit doing the music thing. So I hear. Haven't heard myself.
I haven't either, to be honest, but just
okay.
I
sure.
haven't.
Remember, we're all friends. You can be honest.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Anything else? Anything? Let me ask you a question. How are you guys doing? Everyone excited about karaoke? I hear there might be karaoke breaking out at some point. At the bar? Something will happen at the bar. You know something can happen at the bar. Something's bound to happen at the bar. Any other thoughts, questions, any other episodes I haven't seen I get to answer any questions about? I can tell you what maybe I thought happened or what should happen. Oh, the drink. The purple. I have not tried the purple nurple. They actually make a purple nurple? Really? What's in a purple nurple? It's disgusting. Well, I believe that. There's nuances of purple nurple. There's good and bad. Only in the trusted hands of a knowing bartender can you get a good purple nurple. Interesting. What is the booze? What is the... Coconut rum. You've already lost me. Coconut rum. Yikes. Yes.
What are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm shooting an episode of Life. And by the way, I was shooting that last night, and I flew in this morning, and Sarah was in the pilot of Supernatural. Because she said, "What are you going to do?" I'm like, she goes, "Why are you going to Chicago?" I'm going to a Supernatural convention. And she goes, "Oh, you're a fan of the show?" I'm like, "No, not to attend." I was in it. I was the janitor. I cleaned up after the guys. She's like, "I was the girl in white." Is that right? The ghost in white, something like that? Woman in white. In the pilot. And I actually knew that because I'm buddies with Damien on Life because we did Band of Brothers together. So, last season, when I went to Canada to do the episode, Damien said, well, it's kind of like a question somebody asked me over here. He asked me, "Have you seen my show?" And I said, "No, I haven't seen your show." And he's like, "Thanks for the support. Here are 7 episodes. You're going to be sitting in your trailer. Go watch it." So he gave me 7 episodes of Life to watch. And I'm watching it in my trailer in my downtime, and one of the J-Bros walked in, Jared Jensen, and said, "Hey, that girl, she was in our show." I'm like, "Oh, there you go, small world." So anyway, Sarah says hi. Any messages for her? Hi, you say hi? Okay, good. You guys can catch up at the next thing. Yeah.